Hi, so this tutorial is the last tutorial for our desktop publishing software. Okay, we have already learned on how to create flyers. Okay, so in using Microsoft Publisher also allows you to also create, for example, a lot of the publication. But in this tutorial, I will explain to you what does it mean by brochure and what does it mean by newsletter. Okay, so as we know that flyers is just a single page. It's not a two page, it's just a single page. But for brochures and newsletter, it's just another publication. Brochures we normally use in order for us to promote, for example, product or services. So when we use brochure, the normal template for brochure is in the size A4. And normally what we know about brochure is the brochure itself will be folded into either 3 panel or 4 panel. It's up for you to design your own brochure. But for newsletter, it is not simply a brochure. It is what we call internal publication, whereby it's just look like newspaper, but it's not a newspaper. Okay, all right. So for this case, I have already created one brochure. Okay, so what I need to do is just to open. If you want to do your own brochure from scratch, you just go to your template and choose brochures. Okay, choose any brochure that you want. Okay, to make easy, I just choose install template. Okay, any brochure that you want. Okay, for example, okay, I want the simple divider. Alright, choose any color that you want to put. Okay, alright, so this is okay, and the most important thing is choose the size of your brochure. Either you want 3 panel or 4 panel. It's up to you. Okay, so for my case, I just want to use a simple 3 panel brochure and create. Okay, so for brochure, you will have 2 pages of brochure. One for at the front panel, and the other one is for the inside panel. Okay, normally when you want to fold your brochure, you will start from the right. Okay, so this brochure on your right panel, okay, basically will have the title, and here you have to make sure that the first panel on your right side will become your first page. Okay, and on the front panel, okay, on the center of your front panel will be your back of your brochure. Okay, how you want to fold your brochure is up to what the first thing that you choose for your brochure. Okay, so make sure that you choose the correct panel. Okay, so this is the simplest one, and the second page will tell you about the inside panel. Okay, the inside panel, which we start with the what you want to put. For example, if let's say this is for your event, you will have, for example, organization chart, your schedule for your event, and also might be for your speaker introduction, speaker information, and anything else. Okay, now I will show you what I have in my own brochure. Okay, so I will find my brochure. So here, alright, so this is my finished brochure. Okay, so now you will see that in my brochure, for my first panel, I will have this kind of topic. So my brochure will be full like this. So this is my first panel, my first page. Okay, and this one is the last or the back panel, and this one will be get into the folded page, and this one is for my inside panel. Okay, what I have normally I will have introduction for my event, and then my schedule, and last week might be some of the information regarding my event. Okay, so the different part when you want to print flyers and you want to print brochure is you will see different kind of view. For example, I go to file, I go to print, and you will have this kind of what we have preview. Alright, so if you have already chosen the A4 size at the beginning when you create your brochure, so make sure you also print on the A4, because it will give effect if you print on the A3 paper. Okay, if later on it is not suitable for you to print brochure on the A3. A3 size is quite big compared to A4. Okay, so when you want to print, you just go to your print and you will have this kind of view. Okay, if you want to see the next page, okay, you just scroll next sheet and you have this kind of panel. Alright, so this is for brochure. Okay, we have already learned about how to create brochure, but this time I will explain to you how to create newsletter. So newsletter is quite different from flyers and brochure. If flyers and brochure we use to promote our product, services, or even our event, newsletter is not totally the same. Newsletter will become an internal publication that normally we use when we want to circulate information within our organization or within our club, within our association. So in order to create a newsletter, you need a lot of what we call that editing, or a part of editorial. Okay, because a newsletter is purposely for you to write an article. Okay, article, or you want to share information regarding the event that you have held, that you have in your organization or in your club. Okay, so what you have to do is, you, as usual, you have to go to file. Okay, click on new and you will have a lot of template. So one of the template that you will see is newsletter. Just go and click on newsletter icon. Alright. Okay, if you want to quick template, you just go install template. Okay, so you will have this kind of template for your newsletter. So choose any template. For example, I just choose a very simple template. Okay, very simple template. Customize any colors, background color, any font type, or any business information that you want. And the most important thing is what kind of paging that you want. Let's say you want to see by 1 page split or 2 page split. Okay, it will give what we call brief understanding on what is the newsletter for you. So in my case, I just use default 2 page split and go to button create. Alright, so this is what we have when we click on the newsletter. You will have 4 pages by default. Okay, 4 pages by default. It depends on how many articles that you want to insert in your newsletter. So normally when you create newsletter, you will have what we call that headline. It's just same like newspaper. If newspaper have the headline, for example, Utusan Malaysia, Berita Harian, the News Straits Times, you will have the headline. You will also can create your own headline. Okay, so the next thing that you have to do is to put article in your headline. So one thing you have to remember, when you create newsletter, it is quite different compared when you create brochure or flyers. Newsletter, we have a lot of articles. Okay, and you can also, it doesn't mean that you just put articles. You can also put an image, quotes, and let's say you want to make your what we call that interesting paragraph, interesting sentence that you want to put in your article. Okay, so things that you have to remember when you create a newsletter as well. Normally we will have what we call that section in your newsletter. Okay, you will have what we call inside this issue. Okay, inside this issue. Alright, we tell you about more about the issue in the newsletter. And next, the volume. Normally we have to insert volume, which date you put your publication, and in that particular year, how many publication that you have already made using newsletter, which issue. Okay, so it will give a brief understanding about which article you're referring to, and also which newsletter that you are going to publish for your internal circulation for your organization. Okay, if let's say you don't have enough pages for your newsletter, you want to put another page, what you have to do is to create pages for your, go to page, insert page. Okay, so you can choose any kind of page, for example. Alright, so you will have this kind of what we have, extra pages. Instead of 4, you have now 6. When you create newsletter, definitely you have to make sure that the number of your pages must be not in at odd page. It must be even page. You cannot have 3 pages. You have to make sure you have 4 pages. You cannot have 5 pages. You have to make sure you have 6 pages. The number of pages must be even, not and using the odd number and even number. Okay. Alright. Next, for you to understand more about newsletter, you have to know a little bit what we call tactic on using or writing the article. If let's say you have a very long article, okay, I want to put some more information about my article. Alright, so you have this kind of red arrow, a red rectangular, will showing you that there what we call that it as auto flow. You have to make sure you have to stretch your rectangular text so that your text will occupy the number of text that you want to insert in your column. Alright, so there's a lot more about the articles, and in this tutorial, in order for you to use newsletter, you have to make sure that you have to know how to use the picture holder, the text holder, and also how to create and put, for example, the editorial board, the image, and etc. Okay, what matter about newsletter is the layout. Okay, if your layout is good, you will make sure that your article will fit with the numbers of pages that you want to create in your newsletter. I think that's all for newsletter.